What is going on, everyone? Commodore Lesson today brings you guys my live reaction to Kaguya-sama Love is War manga chapter 234. Now, the chapter has finally come out on this Thursday morning. We are here today to read the latest installment of Akasaka's masterpiece. It's been 2 weeks, of course, since the Olympic break, or I think it's Oban, I think it's called, the break for that. But we are back now, finally, to read the greatness, man. Especially coming off the events of what happened in the last chapter that we read. Of course, Kaguya, Iino, the conversation that they had together regarding the situation with Osaragi and stuff. Of course, bits of the past and stuff that was brought up in regards to what was going on with Ishigami, the Ultimo stuff and everything. But I've seen some people in the comments who were kind of like talking about regards to, what was the need for Kaguya to kind of do what she did in a way, because it's like, as the readers, we know Iino did try with Ishigami, like trying to help him out and everything. But again, it's in the moment, really. That was the big problem of it. Like, obviously, like, if you know the meme with Darkseid and Superman, when Darkseid just goes and pulls Superman, like, no, get back here. That's kind of what Osaragi was upset at. It's like, she didn't do that in the moment, right? And if you care about that person and everything, you should have done that. Now, after, of course, played into the stuff with Iino and her character and how she's always been, her sense of justice, how things are supposed to be done. That reality has been shook a little bit. Now she has a chance to redeem herself. Both, of course, with Osaragi, which is the most important thing, but then, of course, tackling her feelings with Ishigami. And just that promo, man, from Kaguya, I loved it, man. Like, when I think back to, like, my favorite moments of her in the series, because of what she went through, Kaguya, and the development during the Ice Kaguya arc, especially, to become the person that she is today, to say the things that she did to Iino, absolutely loved it, man. But hopefully, Iino's able to take that to heart and make do and try to make better and stuff. Because I know, in some ways, Osaragi and her should be able to talk it out. From one of the two who has to make more of the effort, it might have to be Iino, personally. But we have the color page as well, which I did see. It had, like, Kaguya, Miyuki. I'm pretty sure, like, all the rest of the characters and stuff, like, Papa Shirogane, Ishigami, Chika, all of them and stuff. I believe celebrating the live action film or TV series that they're doing and stuff. But enough rambling. Let's see what's going on. Am I going to have a happy face at the end of this, or am I going to be in tears? I don't know, because Kaguya-sama, sometimes you never know. After all the stuff that we've been through so far in this arc, you never know, man. But let's see. Chapter 234, Kaguya Shinomiya's Impossible Challenge, the Buddha's Stone Begging Bowl, Part 9. Honestly, this is looking like a top 3 arc. Just on the name itself, the Buddha's Stone Begging Bowl, or just Impossible Challenge. It's right now, to me, honestly, it might be a top 5 arc. Depending on how it ends, it could be top 3. We'll have to see. But anyways, let's go here. Zabatsu. And here, yeah, so this is the color page I saw afterwards. If there's a clean version, I would love it. But, oh, man, look at this thing, dude. That's so beautiful, man. Look at that. Oh, you see the doctor, of course, there with Iino and everything. Like, of course, Ishigami and Chika. I mean, it would have... personally, for me, I'd rather have, like, Iino and the Ishigami, but I understand, the birthday twins and stuff. It makes more sense. Of course, Tsubame, Papa. Hey, man, Papa Shirogane might be one of the greatest fathers in fiction. My man out here doing the netro, like, the hearts. Man, come on, that's a goat. And I'm saying this right now, that new volume, 23, in my opinion, that's the best volume cover in the entire series. The parallel back to Volume 1's cover, where the darkness, the mystery really into Kaguya, and now eyes full of life, as they should be. And of course, it has, that chapter too, I believe. So, absolute greatness, man. Let's get into it, though. Let's get into it. Chapter 234, man. And they do have, okay, so that's beautiful. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. They have the clean version. Beautiful. All right. Okay, so when is... Okay, no, this has to be current. I was thinking to myself, this is way back in, like, the 190s and stuff when we got that talk in the library. But no, it almost feels similar to it, but no, like, this is, I guess, in the moment, like, right now, like, current moment. You had a fight with Iino. Iino has been assigned the impossible task of making amends. Meanwhile, Osaragi is... And then, of course, her being in this exact same room that they've been in before, their previous conversation with Ishigami. Akasaka, man. It wasn't really a fight, but more of a falling out. Yeah? Haven't you two been on pretty good terms since elementary school? Not really. I'm not sure if on good terms is the best way to put it. Both Miko-chan and I never really had any friends, so it might be more accurate to say that we just ended up together as the leftovers, which of course, they've said it before. Even so, I don't see why you have to stop talking to each other over a single fight. Yep. To be honest, I'm jealous of you guys. Reminiscing over the past, talking about how things used to be. I've always wanted friends I could do that with. My son. Even if the two of you were to drift apart, I think it'd be a lot easier on your conscience if you at least cleared the air between yourselves first. I'm sure you already know this, but Iino isn't exactly great at being upfront with her feelings. And look back to what happened afterwards with the Ishigami thing when he said it's none of your business, and then he walked away and she walked away, right? If you care about your feelings in that moment, you're doing the dark seed, you're pulling the cape, you're saying, get the heck back over here. So despite what she might say, I'm sure she actually wants to make up with you. Yeah, I know that too. Well, in any case, good luck. If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. As he always has been. Oh, shit, the smile too, because that's just who my goat is, man. Like, listen, anytime Kaga has a great moment, anytime Miyuki has a great moment, I think to myself, man, those are goats. But when I remember exactly the greatness of Sports Festival, even prior to all that, and then up to a moment like this, man, it's like, no, Ishigami top one, always has been, man. Good grief. It's because of you that we're in this situation to begin with. Oh, woman. You know what, man? Akasaka did say next week we have to be careful. When 233 ended, it said you have to be careful. That, man, the time's now. The time is now. Oh, she leaves the room and look who's the first person she runs into, man. Oh, look at the stare down. It's like Undertaker and Kane, the stare down. Not the rooftop. Not the rooftop. Oh my god, listen, man. We had a P-Fiction moment on this rooftop for different reasons. This is going to be one of those. Oh, man. Koba-chan. About Ishigami. I like him. Probably about 10 times as much as you think. And the reaction right there on, Well, I already put those feelings behind me a long time ago, so it's not like I want to go out with him or anything like that now. But you already know, don't you? About how I can't bring myself to cheer you on, even in the slightest. That said, I never thought about interfering with you either. But in any case, I think it'd be hard for us to go back to how we used to be. Little face! Don't do this! Back during the graduation ceremony, I remember you saying that the majority of friendships end after graduation. When you said that, were you talking about us? I mean, it's like, we just happened to sit next to each other in class. And that's all there was to our friendship. We didn't want other people to think we were loners. So we just kind of hung around each other. You made a lot of new friends ever since you joined the student council. And as you continue to expand your horizons, you'll find friends that are a better match for you. Isn't that how it usually goes? It's like our friendship never went that far, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think you need relationships like that in your life too. Is that how it really is? Maybe, I guess. The friendship we have between the two of us is something different from what Fujiwara Senpai and Shinomiya Senpai have. The two OGs. In our case, I've always felt like I've been dependent on you. I stayed by your side only to keep myself from feeling lonely, even though I knew that you had seen through me from the start. Well, you could say the same for me too, so I don't really mind. But to be honest, I really do like you, Koba-chan. Let's go, talk. You joined the disciplinary council with me and even cried for me at the election. So I don't want to do anything to make you hate me. If you really feel so strongly against it, then I'd be willing to give up on Ishigami too. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. I understand how far she's willing to go, but can you really put that away? How you feel like she got me just for this? Because now it's the moment of truth where Osaragi has to say to herself, no, you can't do that to me. No, you can't throw away all that now that you have a chance. Because otherwise, it would just be for naught, honestly. Like, in a moment like this, no, there's no way. Osaragi, for a fact, I don't think she's going to accept that. No. Say, Miko-chan. You're just saying that to try and make me cave, aren't you? Look in the face. Was it that obvious? See the sweat coming down. Your face is a dead giveaway. Man, this is the problem with knowing someone for too long. Right? But that's exactly why I can tell that you were being serious when you said you give up on Nishigami. I'm painfully aware that is the type of person you are. Are you really okay with that, though? Of course I'm not. Oh, man. Just giving up like that would haunt me for the rest of my life. I know you can't. It's Nishigami. Like, what do you mean? I'll bet it would. That's why I wanted to come talk with you, so that we could maybe find some compromise. Up until now, I've always just been doing things as I saw fit, forcing my personal ideals on everyone around me. They say your true self is only revealed through other people. And look at all the times and stuff, man. The party. Of course, the times I won the Dara, freaking the Papa Shirogane stuff. The more I interacted with those around me, the more I've come to understand just what kind of person I really am. That said, understanding is only half the battle. And I don't think that selfish part of me has changed yet. But now, I'm not just concerned about my own feelings. I want to know how you really feel too. We can only really talk things out after that. What do you really want, Kopa-chan? Yo. No longer tunnel vision, no longer looking in one avenue. You're looking at the person that's beside you. You're looking at your rearview mirror. You're looking at all those around you. I needed this from her, man. But now how do we respond? Osaragi? What I want. I just don't want Nishigami to be unhappy. That's pretty much it. You've only ever been concerned about what you want, so there's no way he'd be happy with you. Or so I thought. Because you didn't take it. But now, I'm starting to think that might not be the case. Man, why'd you have to go and grow up all on your own? I suppose it's about time for me to grow up too. Can you promise me you won't make Ishigami unhappy? Let me tell you something about her, bro. Let me tell you something right now, man. Iino, if she has the ball in her hand with 10 seconds on the shot clock, right? 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. She nails this shot. She gets Ishigami. I'm telling you right now, man. She's pulling up like Jordan. I don't care who the defender is from the Jazz in the 98 finals. Crossover. Bang. I promise you right now, man. This confidence boost for her. She takes it, bro. It's a wrap. Ishigami, watch your ankles. You're done out here, man. She gonna claim you. If you can, then sure. I think I could come to terms with that. I see. Thank goodness. The smile, dude. I promise. Okay. Well, there's still no guarantee that I'll actually start going out with him, though. I really can't imagine him liking someone like me after all. No, he's gonna wake up. He's gonna wake up. That brother will wake up. I promise you, if you do the right things, buy the PS5. Buy the PS5 and tell him to come over. You will win. Are you still going on about that? I'm sure you'll be fine. Anyone who has known you long enough should be able to see your good points. Look, my guy was flustered as a little sunflower, alright? We know there's something. He's feeling something. The emotions are slowly kicking in. It's a matter of now making the thing grow more than it should. It's been a while. You want to head back together? Sure. As I go back after. What Koba-chan said wasn't wrong. At some point, the two of us will probably drift further and further apart. Eventually, we probably get to the point where we may not even meet once a year. But even so, the fact that she's a precious friend of mine will never change. That's GOAT. That's super GOAT. Look at the two of them smiling. Look, man, I don't care what it said there, we may drift apart. Nah, man, this is where the true friendship finally begins. Look, man, before I even read this part right here, just going off what they're saying too, because it is true for a lot of people and stuff. After a certain time and stuff, we do go on to the next phase of our lives. Sometimes we don't link up every week. Sometimes it's once every other month, sometimes once every other year, right? Because we're all doing other things. But for a moment like this right now, honestly, I feel like this is really where their friendship is going to bloom now, to the point where they never have to think about something like this. I know the logistics of it are telling you that, yeah, there is that possibility that it could happen. But honestly, they're friends for life, man. The way I look at it, as friends for life. If you make it work, if you truly want to make it work, you can keep friends for life. And it may take a while, but someday I'm sure we'll look back and laugh about what happened between us today. Phenomenal end to this chapter. Look at the two of them smiling, man. It's so cool. It gives me somewhat little vibes of what happened with Hayasaka and Kaguya at the end of the class trip. Somewhat gives me those vibes. But it's more like a very more relaxed tone. Like, to be honest, I do feel a bit surprising a little bit, in regards to like how there really wasn't like a shout or nothing. They actually were mature enough to have that conversation, talk things out, and then end up right now as they are walking back together as friends and stuff, and acknowledging that some point things can change between now and whenever, right? And they could end up drifting. But honestly, I think a moment like this after today, they are going to stay friends for life. It's more so what you say to like you and I, essentially, like, to us, the readers and stuff, that we've experienced this before, whether it be in high school, whether it be in college, and, the workforce and stuff. It could be bound to happen, definitely. But a moment like this, man, no. Fulfilling Kaguya's impossible request, the two make up with each other. And then next time, back to the usual. So I guess so it's going to be comedy time now, basically, for a little bit before we jump into the serious. Because it's one of those things where I said, man, I truly did not feel nor believe that they were going to drift away. That's, Iino was going to cut off Osaragi. That was never going to happen, right? I know some people are very gung-ho on the whole, like, tail of the bamboo cutter and stuff, the whole Kaguya stuff and everything, in terms of everyone and their distinctive roles in that thing, but I don't believe it. Akasaka, to me, is a better author to do their own thing. There's some elements you can see that are similar, but right now, that hasn't been the case. I'm glad that we got this all cleared up now, so that everything is good on both of their sides. But obviously, the stuff regarding Iino and Ishigami, that is nowhere near done. And given the fact of where we are right now in the time, I think we're now in April, I believe, going into May, based on like the new volume coming out afterwards, because again, 1 month per volume and stuff. I would have to assume that the next big event coming up has to be the dance. And if there was ever a time to kind of go and progress like the next phase of basically what Iino's trying to do with Ishigami trying to understand his feelings towards Iino, that's going to be like the perfect time to get something going on. Like the dance itself is going to be very crucial when that goes on, because I feel like that's going to be the moment where I feel the two of them will come together and possibly either become a couple or realize the two of them, they actually do like each other. How far does it go afterwards? We'll have to see. Because this really is the last, like, you can argue, big part we still have left before the war to come in the summer. Shinomiya is, of course, the Shinjo, like, all that, right? But, man, I'm so thankful right now that I didn't have to cry, because I was really scared of seeing Iino in tears. But the fact that she was able to do this, mature enough to go and have that conversation right now with Osaragi, clear the air up. I know she tried to play it off and stuff, saying like, no, I want to give up Ishigami, but let's be fair, man. I know where the eyes are truly looking at, man. The bad guy could be hiding behind steel frames, titanium, whatever it is, man. They would be bursting right through, looking at that boy's soul, waiting to take his Game Boy. But man, beautiful end to the impossible challenge. If that is in fact the end of which has to be, because now it said right there fulfilling it, so that is completely done. I don't know if I can, but it's gonna be weird, right? Because if you look at this as the impossible challenges being like, you know, the whole Iino and then Osaragi part, I would have to say it, to me personally, I think it may still be a top 5 arc in terms of how much it really has been developed to have this moment finally happen. Like over the course of the story, the amount of foreshadowing, the amount of little seeds have been planted here and there, especially when we go back and look at some of the stuff, like how much this really was worked to get to this spot right here. I think it's definitely one of the top tier arcs in the series. But if we have to factor in the stuff now with Ishigami into it as well, then it would raise it. If not, that's its own separate thing. That could be in a class of its own. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, man, great chapter, great conclusion though to this arc. Very happy again, as I say. Osaragi, Iino, they're good for now. I'm not buying any of the nonsense. You'll have to drift apart, you know, the possibility. Nah, they're friends for life now. And by the actual end of the story, whenever Iino does end up with Ishigami, which now I'm starting to feel is going to be that possibility, Osaragi is going to be that person that's going to be at her back. Like eventually it will switch up. She'll be right there at her side and stuff. And even if not for the whole thing with Ishigami, but just to be for her and stuff, eventually as her friend, let's see it happening, man. But yeah, great chapter. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to Kaguya-sama. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter and just in general the arc itself. Like, if you have to just classify the impossible challenge mainly regarding the stuff with Iino and of course the Osaragi, if that itself, like as the arc, where do you have it ranked so far? If you feel it's continuing, which I wouldn't be opposed to, because again, the Ishigami portions of it we still need to deal with, and I feel like if we get a little bit of comedy in right now, just to kind of, you know, set the tone a little bit, quiet it down before jumping into it afterwards, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. But how would you guys separate it? How would you guys categorize it and stuff? Let me know down in the comments. And obviously what it says here, next time back to the usual. What's the usual? What kind of sickle stuff are we awaiting right now from Akasaka next week? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. If you want to be part of the weekly experience when it comes down to my coverage of Kaguya-sama week in, week out, subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're ready. If you are new, of course, you haven't seen any of the previous videos I've done, the catch-up video, the reactions up to this point right now from where we were and stuff, go ahead and do that. And of course, I'll see you guys next week for the latest installment in Akasaka's masterpiece, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Commodore last signing off. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, take care.
Going crazy, yeah, we going crazy. I'm with the team, yeah, yeah.